Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. What's up? What's up? What's up? This is your boy PKJ, and we are here on the Insomniac, East Coast Insomniac, West Coast Wind Down podcast, and we are in for an exciting show. Listen, do me a favor. I want you to tag and share this show. Anybody that you know that may be single, satisfied, anybody that you know who may be looking to mingle, anybody that you know who may be, frustrated in their dating endeavors. So anybody that you know that you might who might need to be a part of this show, we want you to invite them because this is going to be a very, very, very good show. All right. And so y'all come on in, and we're going to have an exciting show. I want you to join me here. And so we are here on the East Coast Insomniac, West Coast Wind Down podcast, and we're going to have a great conversation on tonight. So again, I want you to share and tag your fellow insomniac, your night shifters, your wind downers, and then I want you to also rep what city you're from. All right. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Hey, Crystal DeHolis. Hey, Jude Nicole. Thank you for sharing. Hey, Deborah Michelle. Come on, tag those single folks. You know who, um, single, and they're frustrated. Maybe they're single and maybe they happy, or maybe they know a friend that might be single, and maybe they're in their late 20s, their 30s, their 40s, and they're frustrated with this dating site. Y'all come on in and tag and share, and we're going to have a really good time tonight. All right. And so again, good evening, Crystal DeHolis. Good evening, Julia. Thank you for tagging. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Thank you for tagging. We see Little Rock in the house. What's going on, Brother Ron? Now come on in. Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. We're excited uh, to be here on tonight. I normally have my theme music playing, but I did not get a chance to put it in on tonight. Hey, Patricia Oliver. Thank you for joining on tonight. Yeah, come on in and keep tagging, keep sharing. We are excited about this show. I have some hitters. I have some of my hitters here with me. Some people that I've known for a long time, people I've known for a short time, but I'm sure that they will be able to add to the content that is in this show on tonight. And we are excited about what we're going to talk about. So, listen, I hope you've had a great week so far. I hope your week has been prosperous, and I hope that you have been accomplishing everything you want to accomplish. If you have not, then, I'm praying that you will have a better week as the time goes along. So, again, thank you for joining us on tonight. If y'all give me a minute, I just want to make sure that my stream is. All right. All right. Well, listen, let's jump right into this. And you can even tag people that may not be on right now, but maybe they want to listen to this a little bit later on. And so we're gonna jump in. I'm going to introduce my guest. And today's episode is episode 10 of the East Coast Insomniac, West Coast Wind Down podcast. And today we're talking about melanated dating. On the East Coast Insomniac, West Coast Wind Down podcast, we talk about those things that keep Black America awake and provide actionable hope to help us rest better. So we are in episode 10 again, and we're talking about melanated dating because some people are frustrated with the dating environment that we are in currently. Some people are just getting into the dating environment. Maybe they are widowed. Maybe they are, they finally got the degree and they're ready to settle down. Maybe they are at a place in life where they want to help build together with somebody. And maybe they just want to date. They just want to just have fun right now. So we want to talk about all of these aspects of dating and get some opinions and some insight on this thing. So y'all come on in here. So I want to introduce my panel, and I decided to do it different tonight. I want to have an entire panel on tonight who could help us in this discussion. And it's going to be a really good discussion. So, hey, Shanetta, thank you for joining. Hey, Nav. Hey, Queen. Thank y'all. Y'all come on in and tag and share. Yeah. So let me introduce our panel on tonight. First up is my girl. She has been hanging with me since back in my 8th Street days. I didn't realize that I was stealing her from another church, or I wouldn't have been bothering her. But but I was calling because she used to come over to our church all the time, and I thought she just didn't have a church home, and so I'm calling. I say, why don't you just come on over here? I don't because you look like you church homeless. So come on over here. So she came on over, and she's been hanging with me ever since. And so that's my girl J Nicole, aka Peanut. Good evening, Julia. And then the next one, we go back like a 3C ponytail slicked back with jail. So we've been hanging for a long time, and I want to introduce to you my girl Charity Israel. And Israel
Hey,
is her middle name. That's her middle name for real, for real. All right.
hey, everybody.
And then I want to introduce, last but not least, I want to introduce my guy. I call him the glory facilitator. I've only met him one time in person, but I've seen him. I connected with him through Pastor Nate Stewart on the Faith Room, and I enjoy everything he has to say. And he happened to remind us last week during this time on the Faith Room that he was single. And so I was looking for a single brother to help in joining this conversation. And so I introduced to you none other than Mel Moore. Come on in, brother.
Everybody, what's happening?
Yeah. So y'all come on in. We're gonna have a good conversation. How you doing, Rachel? Good to see you. Yeah, get your pen and paper together. Yeah, y'all come on in. Y'all keep tagging. We're going to have a discussion. I know it's late, but we're going to have a really good conversation on tonight. So I want to jump right in because I want to share as much content as possible that we have. We're talking about melanated dating, and I want to get some people who maybe you're interested in dating, maybe you're not, but so it seems to be that in the 21st century, people have different perspectives on dating, right? And this is in no wise a battle of the sexes. And so we're just going to talk and we're just going to be free on tonight, right? We're just going to have real honest dialogue and conversation. So I want you to, I asked you all to get a piece of paper together, and I wanted you, when you get your piece of paper, I wanted you to write down 3 to 5 words. Each of you write down 3 to 5 words that will describe your worst dating experience. Your worst dating experience. 3 to 5 words to describe your worst dating experience. All right.
Can we just talk about the fact that I'm outnumbered first? Like, can we not gonna build?
Yeah, yeah. So we had another guest who was supposed to be on, and he's a no call no show. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened, but
I,
but but Mel, you are outnumbered, brother.
I need
Yeah,
some in the comments. Y'all gonna have to
right.
rep.
Yeah. So brothers, if you're in the comments, help brother Mel more out. Help him out. I'm sure he can handle his own, but help the brother out. Help the brother out. Right.
Help a brother.
Yeah. Uh, Pastor Clarissa Pace, get my little bro on here because I want to get his insight, his input. Get my little bro on here. I want G Pace to get over here. Uh, he writing all these love songs and stuff, producing love music. Uh, so I want him on here. So get tag him on here. All right. So check this out. Listen. So y'all got your 3 to 5 words down. All right. So Mel, I'm gonna let you go first. 3 to 5 words to describe your worst dating experience. Put your paper up to the screen. So let's check it out. Loud, insightful, depressing. Wow. Wow. You want to elaborate on that, or you just want to leave it at
Nope.
those 3 words? All right. So we're gonna stay at the bottom of the screen. Charity, what are your 3 to 5 words?
Can y'all see? Hold on. Wait.
Put it up closer. Turn it around. What's that? Cheap,
Cheap,
country, loud,
uncomfortable,
uncomfortable. What was the last one?
foolishness.
Foolishness. You said that foolishness with some stank on it.
Because it was foolishness.
It was foolishness. All right, Julia, J. Nicole. What are your 3 to 5 words?
I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see this.
Yeah,
Oh, awkward,
so
uncomfortable, disappointing, and
disappointing.
shocking.
Okay, okay. All right. Which of those words stand out to you the most?
Shocking.
Shocking. Okay, we're
Mhm.
gonna talk about that a little bit because I can imagine what made it shocking. Hey, how you doing, Yumika? Welcome, welcome, welcome. So now I want you to do this without rolling your eyes in the back of your head and without going back in the memory too deep. I want you to write 3 to 5 words that explains your best dating experience. 3 to 5 words that describe your best dating experience. And those who are online and you're watching, you can put yours in the chat too. You can do your 3 to 5. Just type worst and then put your 3 to 5 words, and then type best and put your 3 to 5 words. Don't get too lost in the words, lest you call them back or unblock them.
Come on, somebody.
Come on, let's talk. Let's talk tonight. 3 to 5 words. All right, we're gonna start at the top this time with Jay Nicole. Jay, what are your 3 to 5 words? Let's see. Memorable, fun, and thoughtful. Okay, good deal. PM, what are your 3 to 5 words? Peaceful, intriguing, and honest. All right, good deal. All right, Charity, Israel.
Hopefully, hopefully you can see them.
Okay, thankful,
Thoughtful.
thoughtful,
Mm-hmm.
memorable, sweet, and what's that? Concrete,
Romantic.
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 Okay, romantic. I said concrete. All right. So I want to now ask the question. I want to dig a little bit deeper. Was date 2 the same as date 1? that sent their representative in the beginning and then started showing their colors, or was date 2 the one that got away? Charity.
I wouldn't say he got away. It served its purpose. I think date 2 was awesome. But good people don't necessarily mean good together. So
Okay. That's good. That's good. We're going to dig into that. I like that you said that. I like that you said that. Jay Nicole.
So for me, it would be neither, because those two were two different people. My
There were
worst
two different.
experience is totally different from my best experience.
Okay, so it wasn't the one that got away?
Because,
No, it
like
wasn't.
Charity said, they can be a good person, but not necessarily someone that I can mesh with.
Okay. I have some follow-up questions for that. All right. Pierre, what about you? Is it the same person that began to show their true colors, or is it the one that got away?
Um, I mean, honestly, I think that every situation teaches you a lesson. It's kind of like what Charity was saying. You got to find the experience out of it all, and that's why I put insightful when it came to the first one, because it teaches you some things.
Okay. All right. Good deal. Good deal. All right. So, I want to ask a question, and I'm just asking. We heard it said, that it was a learning lesson, or just because they're good doesn't mean you're good together. Um, do you feel? And I'm just asking, right? Do you feel that maybe at the time that you were dating that person, the good one, the best one, that you didn't feel that you were worth the goodness that was being shown, or you felt that you were apprehensive to step into the dating arena at that time?
Say it one more time.
Do you feel that you were apprehensive because of past experiences, or do you feel that maybe you may not have been worthy of the goodness that was being shown to you?
Who going first?
I can take that one. For me, the experience I was speaking of, this particular gentleman, when I met him, he was doing pretty good. And then when we got together, he kind of hit hard times. So the date that I'm speaking of is when he was back on his feet and was like, this is what you're really deserving of. And so he took me to this amazing place. I'm saying we had like 4 courses, and it was just very like, okay, you get it, my word. So I felt I felt deserving of that
Mm-hmm.
because I was giving that to him. You know what I mean? So,
Okay. Okay. But the time didn't work out.
with him,
Yeah.
I have to tell you about that one offline.
Okay, I'm gonna move past that
That,
one
that was
because
that
No,
was
y'all,
no, for real.
all
Okay,
getting
okay, okay,
nervous.
okay. For
Y'all
real,
all getting
because it's
nervous.
late night and we gonna keep it 100. Just the X
unless he
factor.
watching. Unless he
That's what I'm saying.
watching, we don't want no
Huh?
law. We don't want no lawsuits. So if he
No
watching,
lawsuits, no names, no names. He just was an X factor, and it was one of those situations that it just kind of fizzled. Again, good person. We've been intentional about trying to make this work. Obviously,
It just wasn't
it's just
clicking.
not for us. So yeah, it fizzled, but that moment was beautiful, and I always cherish it.
Okay. All right. All right. Julie, you want to ask that question?
So the best dating experience was actually a catfish. Okay. And
Oh,
yeah. So I pushed through the date and even tried to mentally, address the whole catfishing situation. But he never got past the first date, because the next date he was like, I don't want to say clingy, but red flag type,
oh,
ready to be in a relationship like then. And I'm like, you can't even get a second date at this point, my guy. Like, no. And there were some inappropriate messages that came after that that I had to address even further. So it again, even with the catfish situation and trying to get past that, it just wasn't going to be a good fit anyway.
Gotcha. All right. So at this point, I normally PM. You wanna share?
You want to go and
No. I want you. I want you. I want you to answer
Here.
that.
Come on.
Come on.
Um,
I remember.
so I think a lot of times we don't realize that you can have capacity for the first day, but not capacity for the lifetime or for longevity. And I think that a lot of times we don't realize that just because you had a great time on the first date doesn't mean that you are supposed to be with that person for the rest of your life. Sometimes you just got to call it for what it is. It was a great time, great night, great opportunity to get to know someone. And I think that sometimes we can do a poor job at placing people in the right place. Just because you may go out on a date, but that person may not be boyfriend or girlfriend or husband or wife. They may turn out to be a good friend or whatever. And I think sometimes that's where we kind of miss it.
Gotcha. That's very insightful. I knew you were going to come with the insightfulness.
I mean, but he kind of still went around,
I came to the driveway. I parked the car. Fellas, where y'all at? Because I'm outnumbered.
So Janelle said she's been there before. For me, a little bit of both, but probably more of apprehensive because of past experiences. But in the end, I know I'm deserving because I can reciprocate it. Okay. All right. Good deal. And Naftina said I think she was agreeing either with, I don't know which one you were agreeing with, Naf. All right. So Crystal said you went all the way around the mulberry bush. So listen. So
I'm just
no.
I want to mind.
Yeah. So normally, at this juncture, I would normally quote the lyrics of a song, right? But I'm gonna do a little bit different now because we got a panel. Give me a song, any song that describes your current dating philosophy now. Any song.
For me, it would be Music Soul Child, Just Friends.
Okay.
Just because I recently returned to the dating pool after 6 years of being single. And my experience has been like guys are just like immediately ready to be in the fast lane. And I'm like, dude, can I get to know you as a person first? Like, can you get to know me as a person first? I'm not really trying to go from being single one day and being in a whole relationship the next day. So I think right now the dating pool is lacking that building of friendship first. So that would be my dating philosophy right now.
Gotcha. Just friends. All right. Pia.
I don't feel no ways. No, I'm joking.
Yeah. Come on, somebody.
No, I don't know. Like, I'm gonna have to think about that one. I don't have a song for that.
You'll have a song for it? Okay. All right. Charity.
I'm on like a little bit of India Ari, Ready for Love, but at the same time, I'm on I'm Not Trying to Pressure You, Can't Stop Thing. Look, Music Soul Child. Chill. Like let's see where this goes, and let's cultivate a friendship that turns into something romantic. That's kind of where I'm at.
Gotcha. You want to take it slow.
Yeah, but I am on a sabbatical a little bit because I had to take a rest. He was getting on my nerves. Y'all gotta leave me alone.
So Shadetta said that the problem is, so I guess she's speaking the fact that Mel is here. He's the only brother, only single brother on the show. She said that's the problem, that the brothers are missing. Where y'all at, brothers? Where y'all at?
But do we ever ask why?
Yeah, and that's a really good question. That's a really good question because this I think my show is a non-threatening show, right? I don't push. I really keep it light, but I like to be real at the same time. So why do you think the brothers are missing? So we're gonna go off script for a minute. Why are the brothers missing, Mel?
I don't know why they're missing, but I don't know. I think these types of things kind of intimidate guys a little bit when it comes to conversation. You got to remember, that the woman is more outspoken, more
Mm-hmm.
open. And I think that the misconception is that men are okay with rejection. They're okay with, like if a man asks you out or whatever, and you say no, or if you ignore him, or whatever, that man got feelings too. And his feelings hurt and everything. So I think a lot of times, situations like this cause brothers not to be involved because it's a lot of times, not this show, but a lot of times it's really not catered to the brothers. A lot of times it's catered to the women. Because
Yeah,
most of the time, and PKJ, you're a different breed, but most of the time, events like this are put on by women.
yeah. Yeah, and that's the exact reason why I did not just want this to be a female dominated show. I really wanted to have both perspectives in there,
Yeah.
and so I'm glad that you said yes because we needed a different perspective. We needed a different perspective. So let's get into this. Go ahead.
It's important to understand we need a wife, not a mama. So when it comes to that, you don't tell us. You gotta ask us. Why are why don't you come to these things? What will make you come? Instead
Mm.
of saying that's the problem right there, And I Netta, I love you. I ain't saying, I don't I'm
You
just
about to
saying
get an email.
that, right? I'm just saying that if you want the brothers to come, you got to ask them what's going to make them get through the door.
Thank
But
you for that.
can I speak to that because he
Go
said
ahead.
we don't want a mother, we want a wife. But I
Hmm.
think if we can be honest, and I would say because men don't, well, some men do date men, but I'm saying like in a heterosexual situation, men don't date men, so you don't get to experience men the way women do it. And I get a lot of men who can talk about, I don't want a mother, but you're needing mothering all the time because somewhere in your childhood or adulthood you didn't get that nurturing thing. So here comes this woman, you claim you want a wife, but you want her to take on the responsibilities or make up for what your mama didn't do, when it's like, hey, let's heal from your mother wounds and then let me really be the wife that you need, which means I'm
So
not.
so so
Go
I don't
ahead.
mean to cut you off,
Go ahead.
but so that segues into my next question. Is the 21st century dating dysfunctional? Why not? So you were leading into that, Charity. So kind of go ahead and finish what you were saying in reference to this question that we have here.
I would say if we're doing the mama wife, I think a lot of people, men and women, aren't clear on those roles.
That's
We
good.
can say we want a wife, we can say we want a husband, but we really don't know how those people operate. And oftentimes we're looking for our partner to fill the void that person didn't in our life. So if you haven't taken the time to, go see a therapist, do your soul work, heal from your mother wounds or your father wounds, you're sitting up here, every relationship you're getting in, you're trying to find that in that person. And that's why it is dysfunctional, because I'm not your mama. I don't want to be your mama. I want to be your woman. And there's things as your woman that I'm not going to do as your mama. And there's things, if you want your mama, you don't want me as your woman.
Okay.
But my question, I guess, is do we approach it like that? Or do we try to compensate because we feel like I don't want to miss out on this person or the relationship or whatever? Because I agree completely and wholeheartedly with you. My background and degrees in psychology, so I completely agree. A lot of times we do have things that have happened in the past, that come out when we become adults. And I talk about all the time, you're as old as your trauma. And so
Woo.
I completely agree when it
Yeah.
comes to, I think the problem though, a lot of times is I can recognize that you not healed, that, you got a lot happening, you got a lot going on. But if I struggle with loneliness, I could recognize it and still want to be with you because it satisfies something in me that's also not healed.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, that's good. Y'all took us deep real quick. Julie, you have
I'm
anything to add to that?
trying to lead the psychologist, the the crisis intervention
No.
person. I'm trying to
But
lead
we
them in.
need crisis intervention in dating because, woo, gee.
Right. Right. Julie, you have anything to add to that?
Just to piggyback off what Charity said earlier, I think it's just important before you get into dating and getting to that place that you do the necessary work, like Charity said, going to therapy, doing the soul work to make sure that you are balanced to address any traumas that you've had. And I think for me, that's why I've been single for the last 6 years. In that time frame, I've worked on me. I've rebuilt myself. I've, just rediscovered myself from past relationships. And now I'm able to apply and implement the work that I've done. But if you're still lacking in those areas, you're not going to be sure enough and confident enough in yourself to address any red flags that you see, whether that's in yourself or someone else.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So Crystal asks, could it be that they don't want their game exposed, or they don't want to be held accountable, or they don't want anyone to give them sound counsel on how to be available? Just thoughts to ponder. So could be. Uh Reggie, you have anything to share on that? We got one brother out here. Uh Yeah, Rachel said, completely dysfunctional people are coming onto the dating scene expecting others to make them feel whole, complete them, or you have to be whole before dating. Okay, so
So
let
yeah,
go ahead,
like
go
Ooh.
ahead, go
I was
ahead.
ready to say, like one of my pet peeves right now that I'm hearing a lot uh in the dating pool is there are individuals that, I need my woman to be my peace. I need my man to be my peace. No, I need you to be at peace so you don't disturb my peace. I don't want you to come into a relationship and looking for me to be your peace. And I think that's another caveat or segue into what I previously said, that you got to do your own soul work. You have to be an active participant in your own healing in order for you to be of value in a relationship. And I think that's the imbalance that I'm seeing a lot in the dating pool.
I
Yeah.
think another space too is this idea of I have to be whole to date. I don't think you have to be whole to date. I think you need to be aware to date. I think you need to be able to say,
Uh,
this is my struggles, this is what I'm working on. Because to me, wholeness is the ability to define what's dysfunctional and be able to put a plan to making it more functional, making it more um, normal per se. And so in my conversation with you, for example, because some people, they feel like, I might have debt, so I'll never be able to be loved. No, you tell this person, if you're getting serious, this is what I come to the table with. This is my plan. And and I can show you that I've been working on this plan before you got here. So you don't think I'm doing this just to keep you around. You know what I'm
absolutely.
saying? Like we talk about wholeness, and let's be real, most wholeness is a lifetime journey. And if you're waiting to be completely whole, you're going to miss a moment to actually have somebody come alongside and be a helpmate in the sense of saying, hey, look, I'll support you in your endeavors to be better. But if you ain't trying to be better, then yeah, let's not do this relationship thing. But I can rock with a person who is aware and willing to do the work. If you ain't aware and willing to do the work, beloved, may the Lord watch between me and thee while we absent one from the other.
That's
Now,
why I have y'all on the show.
here's the thing,
Go
but
ahead.
that's Miss Charity Israel. But most people though aren't gonna say peace, bye, have a good one, etc. Unfortunately, because a lot of people struggle with loneliness, most people are going to walk away at the point of them being hurt.
Mm. Mm.
And that's most people. Most people wait until that place of them being hurt and then decide to walk away. And the truth of the matter is, just like Charity was mentioning and talking about before, like you got to be aware. You got to be aware of what your struggle is, of what your drama is, your toxicity, all of that. You got to be aware of that, and you got to have a plan, of course, to work on it. But I think a lot of times because many people struggle with loneliness, then what's going to happen is that you're going to say, well, I'll help you along. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And so, yeah.
Yeah. And so,
And
so my, go ahead,
to
go
the
ahead.
individual also to be like, no, you can't help. This is my journey. I got to do
Right.
this. I got
That's
to fix.
good.
I got to go to therapy. I got to make it happen.
Yeah. Yeah. And we uh Captain Save and Sister Save, right? So so we gotta cut that out. So listen, I want to bring up some things that I think, you know, and you all can let me know whether or not this is true. That these things, because if it's dysfunctional, let's say, there may be some things that attribute to the dysfunction. So let's ask, what about social media? Does that attribute to the dysfunction in today's dating scene? If so, one person tell me why.
Uh, I got something, but if somebody else want to go,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I was just having this conversation with somebody, and I think one of the things with social media is this: back in the day, in our parents' generation, they basically had to date whoever was on the block. So they had to meet somebody from the neighborhood. They had to date somebody from the neighborhood, and they were gonna be with that person. They didn't know about anybody else in any other city, on any other coast, or in any other country or whatever. But with social media, the world is open. Honestly, I mean, so you no longer have to date who's in your backyard or who's in your city, and I think that makes it harder because the world is open.
Wow, gotcha, gotcha. So I'm going to ask another question a little bit in
Daddy
regards
laughing.
to that.
Come on, it's up. Speak.
All
It's
right, all right,
real.
all right. So second one, musical content. Julia, does that attribute to the dysfunction in today's dating environment?
Okay, I'll talk about music in my day because I don't know nobody from the new people. Like, I don't know none of these new age singers or rappers. I know I'm telling my age a little bit, but I don't know a lot of these new people.
Talk
She's
The
your
still in
talk,
her
music that
Jay.
30s, y'all. She's still in her 30s. She's still in
I
Talk
am,
your
transition.
talk, Jay.
I am. But music in my day, I don't think contributed or contributes to the dysfunction. I will say though, now I'm aware of Meg Thee Stallion and Cardi B, people like that you see on the BET Awards and the singles that they put out. I absolutely feel it contributes to the dysfunction, only because it paints this picture that it's appropriate for ladies to carry themselves that way. It's appropriate for guys to approach women the way that they talk about in some of the singles that I have heard. But music in my day, no, I don't think it's dysfunctional at all. But new age music, absolutely.
Well, I would say music in my
Damn.
day.
Wait,
Really?
you can go back. They was
I
doing
would
the
say
same.
music in my day was back that thing up, and so
Never mind. I forgot about the 99 in the 2000s.
Because y'all know when y'all hear them violins.
That's all you got to do is just hear that intro and it's you already keyed up right. I'm
ready to
about
go,
gracefully. Never mind.
ready to go. And the Yin Yang Twins in this thing.
Yeah.
What?
Uncle Luke.
All right. All right. So next one. Charity, drug culture.
Yes, a whole bunch of crackheads out here, men and women, just crack heads, and I call everything crack. So yeah, and
So
it's
it's
cool, and they want to
Yeah.
invite you to be a crackhead too. No,
And they sing
Oh,
about it too.
I don't want to be a crackhead.
where's the mute button?
All right. All right. Anybody can take this one. Pandemic isolation.
Yeah, you start settling for anything just to feed that loneliness.
Mm, gotcha.
Yeah. You isolate it, so all of a sudden now you want a cupcake because you can't go nowhere.
Talk your talk, sir.
It's the truth. Yeah, I think pandemic, whatever your struggle was, it magnified. Whatever the struggle was, it magnified because you were isolated and you were forced to, come to terms with whatever you. So I think whatever people were coping, people were, and coping just ain't drugs. Coping just ain't crackheads.
Yeah.
Coping is loneliness. Coping is talking to somebody that you wouldn't normally talk to. If you were aware, that's the word we use. If you were aware, so yeah.
Yeah.
I agree because okay, so since Crystal said it, those that know me know my motto is I just want to mind my business and eat my cheese sandwich. I don't want to bother nobody. I'm completely content with being by myself. I've always been somewhat of a recluse. So for me, the pandemic was gravy. I was like, I don't have to interact with people. I don't have to go nowhere. Oh, I love this. But then you have people like your pastor and your spiritual father that tell you, Julie, if you got to get out in order to be found, he's not going to be next day aired to your door. So I need you to be able to get out. So yeah, it absolutely magnified my isolation. And so I just recently started going back outside.
Okay. All right. All right. Last one. Broken family structure.
Oh yes, sir. Oh yes, sir.
Mel, you shuffling papers?
If I had another piece of paper, I'd write yes all over. Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. And so some people don't know how to date. They don't know how to date to have fun. They don't know how to date to court.
Yeah.
Maybe just because their family structure was broken, and that trauma we talked about earlier, right? Right. So next question. In the 21st century, I want to you know meddle a little bit. Is it okay for anyone to shoot their shot, woman or man? We're in the 21st century. Is it okay for or does the woman have to wait until she's approached, or can people slide into DMs or flirt with the man, or should the woman still wait, or can anybody shoot their shot?
I say shoot, sis. But it's a like a not a slam dunk, but more like a little fancy layup, kind of like be cute with it, like
Bingo.
yeah, you know. Like I'm letting you know I'm interested, but you can go ahead and be the man and take the risk. Like I don't see anything wrong. And especially, and I would say particularly in our culture now with the Me Too movement, men are in a space where they really can't say too much. And I think that there's a bit of reservation even on how much I can say to a woman without her feeling offended or feeling violated. So for me, I kind of, if I'm interested, I'll flirt a little bit and say, hey, I'm interested in you. That's because I'm a grown woman now. Back in the day, I used to kind of like, I'll say I'm interested, and you do what you need to do with that. But I
So
only do that,
respectful.
like I said, because I feel like our culture now is different from where the guys could come up. I mean, I didn't hear women get upset because a man told them they were beautiful. Like, sis, why you
Yeah.
mad? You pretty.
Right. Right. So you feel it's okay if a woman sees a man with hoochie daddy shorts on and say, "Hey, I like that thigh meat, bro."
What? Nope. You got to be a little, have a little more class in there. Don't talk about the sacred thigh meat when you first meet them. Not when you first meet them. You just be like, I see you, little daddy. I see you, little daddy. Mm. Come on, legs.
All right. Next question. Who pays on the first date? We're in 21st century.
I'm of the persuasion a man.
I'm traditional, so I'm gonna say man. I'm traditional. Now I will say this though, because I even do this with my friends. Like when we go out, I'm grabbing the check. We're not about to sit here and figure out who gonna pay and who not. We ain't doing all that.
Yeah.
And if I'm paying too many times, I just know that we ain't going. I'm not going out with those friends no more.
Mhm.
And I take on the same account when it comes to dating. Now, I'm a little more traditional, so I believe in. So when we go out, I'm gonna pay first time. Absolutely, it's not non-negotiable. But when it comes to like second date, third date, I'm probably still gonna pay, but I want to see if you're gonna grab the check.
Hmm.
I'm I'm
You want to at
I'm
least reach for it.
Trust, I'm not going out on a date without money in my pocket to pay for what we doing. However, I want to see if you're gonna grab the check. I want to see if this is just a free date for you, if this is just food for you, you hungry, or you needed something to do, or if you because when you grab a check from a man, again, that man, if he's traditional, he's 9 times out of 10 he's gonna pay. But let me tell you what it says to that man. When you grab the check from that man, it says that you are invested. That's what it says. That this just ain't a free date for me. I'm invested. I bring something to the table. I can hold my own. You know what I'm saying? And so then that man who, like I said, if he's traditional, he's gonna pay anyway. That man's gonna say, "No, I got it." You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah. So it's even if so, especially if she's the one invited you on the date, right?
even if she
If it's
invites.
second or third.
Oh, second or third. I mean, I still want to see, but again, as a man, I'm gonna hold up my responsibility. It's not gonna be like, all right, so we went out that first time, and I paid, right? So the second time when we go out, I'm not doing that. When we go out, anytime that we go out, I'm gonna have enough to cover us. However, I do want to see if you're fully invested. I do want to see if you're gonna grab the check. It tells me that this just ain't a free date for you. It tells me that I'm getting to know you too, and I want to know you and just not your money.
Gotcha. Jill, you have anything to add to it?
I'm pretty much on board with Mel. Like I'm always going to come prepared to cover myself in the case you don't want to or are
Yeah.
not in a position to. I'm gonna always cover myself,
Yeah.
or to cover the check because I ain't trying to go to jail for nobody. But yeah, that's the same take I have on it. Traditionally they pay for the first date. I'll take the second date, so forth and so forth.
Gotcha. So I want to muddy the waters a little bit, right? And I'm just asking these questions because this is what I'm seeing when it comes to dating, and people feeling, like things are needing to change as it relates to dating. So, uh, right, in the context in just about every nationality, but especially within the African American context, women outnumber men, right? And so for women, we talked about it earlier. There may be some slim pickings, right? So because women are outnumbered, numbering men, should polyamory be okay? I'm just asking because this is trend that I'm seeing. I'm just
You try
asking.
not.
J Lo, J Lo.
Oh, all right. So I want to
Oh,
ask the question.
TK.
I'm just asking for the people because this is not a churchy podcast, right? This is a
I mean, they do it
podcast
in
where
church.
we're looking at all perspectives, right? So if men are outnumbered by women, you know, should I'm just asking, baby. I know you watching this. I'm just asking because this is what I'm seeing in the culture. I have no ideas or concepts or ideologies forming in my head about this,
Oh,
but
we
I'm
know
just asking the
Shannon.
panel.
Flame out there.
I'm just asking I'm just asking the panel. Shit, because you even have people who are in church who feel like that.
it's people in church doing it.
Yeah. So what do y'all think?
No comment.
I speak on it too. Let's see. It, it is okay for the person who wants to participate in it. It is not okay for me. Not for me, because I understand there are, women who don't mind sharing. They've been sharing for years, so that's a comfortable situation for them. Me, however, the way I'm set up, that's one thing I'm not sharing. Not knowingly, I'm gonna come into agreement with another woman that I'm sharing this man. I can't see it. But now
No.
I have considered the idea of, no, I ain't really considered it, but I'm saying, like, why can't
Hush!
I have two men? Two men, huh?
Hush!
Two,
Hush! Hush!
two men.
Now don't pull back. Just tell
Because
it.
the brothers sometimes they be missing something. So can I get a smart dude? And then, like, you know what I'm saying? Like the package don't be complete. So can we? No, all right.
You want to piece together the perfect one.
Piece together, and I feel like that's what men in those situations do. They piece together the type of ultimately all these women total the ideal woman for them, or they're greedy, which that's the case too. But hey, if you're down for that, if you're sharing is caring kind of person, then
Next slide.
We're gonna move. We're gonna move past that one. All right. Now, I will say this. I do want to say this. Solomon had, uh, you know, 300 wives and 700 concubines, right? But he only wrote a song about one.
mm.
I just want to put that out there. All right. So let me ask this question: how do you feel about swipe left dating, online dating? How do you feel about it, Julie? I'll come to you first.
So, I don't think that there's anything wrong with it. I have been a part of a few dating apps. I prefer Facebook dating simply because number one, it's free. You don't have to pay some premium price to see all these results. But not only that, it tells you who your mutual friends are, so I can be Inspector Gadget if I need to be. So yeah,
Okay.
that's where I'm at on that. I don't think there's anything wrong. I actually know a few people who have met their husbands, their mates, online dating. So
Yeah. I know a few people too. Yeah.
yeah.
All right. PM.
I mean, everything is hybrid now. So, I mean, you would expect dating to be the same thing. You meeting people in the supermarket, but you may also meet somebody on Instagram or Facebook or whatever. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Deborah, you refer. So she refers to. We refer people to, dating apps because we've seen it work. Where people have found their spouse, their soulmate, on dating apps.
yeah.
All right. So Julie she said Solomon is dead. So we ain't studying Solomon right now.
And he
All
I,
also
right.
was a
I
king. He
will
also
say,
was a king.
I will
Yeah.
say, for people who are doing like online dating or whatever, just know your limits.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that you be safe. You know, read the red flags, read the signs, know your limits. Jay survived a catfish, but you may not. So you got to make sure that you know your limits. You got to read the signs. You got to, So. And we
Yeah.
thank God that she's still here.
Jerica says she met her husband online on Facebook, and told her single girlfriend that she should do online dating, the one you pay for. And so I guess she said because you get what you pay for, right? I guess. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Shanetta, she talked about Solomon. She said, right, that was his little life nasty self.
He was a king, man.
Yeah,
King.
yeah. And really, when you well, I don't want to get into Bible
No,
study now.
no,
Don't get
Anyway,
go.
into it
Let's
because
go. Go, go,
Huh?
go, go,
No,
go.
the reason Solomon did that anyway, it was because of political reasons, not really because he loved all these women. He liked smashing them all, but it was really for political reasons, so he can expand the territory, right? So
Well,
anyway,
well, because they say even in this time, like when the Queen of Sheba comes to meet him, legend is that he gave her a baby.
mhm,
So it speaks to the whole political thing and everything. But then also, you got to remember his father was a player too.
Come
You know,
on.
yeah,
you
yeah,
have to, but whatever you don't kill magnifies in your next generation. So his father didn't have 700 concubines, but Solomon did, because if you don't kill it, it's going to magnify in the children that's coming out.
yeah.
Talk your talk, sir.
All right,
Yeah.
so check this out.
No, but I got to defend the men.
Right, he wasn't just being nasty. He wasn't just being a hoe out here, right?
A little
I'm
bit.
sure I'm sure it had its advantages for
A
him.
little bit.
Oh, not intentionally. Well, yeah. Anyway, all
Bruh.
right. So,
On an accident.
so listen, listen. I
Nah.
stopped cussing. I stopped cussing back in April, right? And I've been doing I've been doing pretty good. I'm serious, Mel. I stopped cussing back in April. I've been doing pretty good. I slipped up one time, and hoe is not a cuss word. It's a whore, harlot. We just say hoe in the hood, and it sounds a little a little
Better.
more right. So I stopped cussing, but I've slipped up one time since April, right?
Hmm.
But there's this stuff that makes me want to cuss, right? When it comes to this dating culture, one of the things that make me want to cuss is high value ideology. People say, I want a high value man or a high value woman. What do you mean when you say high value? Can somebody help me out? What does that mean when they say they want a high value? Because when I think of it, I'm thinking of they want somebody who make 6 or 7 figures. That's all I hear when I hear them talk about it. But what does high value mean?
Oh, I think it speaks to cash culture and caliber. I think when it comes to what whoever the person is, I don't think that high value is the wrong is a bad thing. I think that you have to be willing to do what you need to do to get the high value person. The truth of the matter is, if anybody has worked for anything or whatever, there majority of the people are not just going to let it go just for anything. So you have to know what it takes. I'll give you an example. I have a friend who makes a nice amount of money, over 6 figures, and basically she's an attorney, and she's looking for a gentleman where she doesn't have to work. And I told her, I said you're probably going to have to find somebody who makes twice as much as you do, and the reason being is because you're gonna have to find somebody where their life is not messed up. Basically, their standard of living is not messed up, but then also they can accommodate your 6 figures that you already make. And so 9 times out of 10, if you want to be taken off of your job and you don't want to work and all of that, he can't make the same amount, because if he's maintaining life at that level and you want to come in and you don't want to work, he's gonna have to make twice as much. And but then I told her also, I said, then if you're gonna find somebody who makes twice as much as you, then you gotta ask yourself, what is that type of man looking for?
Mm, yeah.
And are you willing to then become that type of man? And it's the same thing if you go the other route. If a man is looking for a certain type of woman, he has to be willing to become that man for that woman, so that she can see him or whatever. And I think that that's the thing that we don't want to do. I think we want the high value person, but we don't want to put in high value work.
I
Okay.
agree.
Now, how common, how likely is that? And anybody can answer it. How likely is that in the African American Black context that someone who's making 7 figures, who's a woman, finds a man who's making more than her?
Well, she was at 6, but even let's take it to 50,000. Let's take it to there. So even at 50,000, if a woman is making 50,000 and she wants to be taken off of her job, then that still means that she's gonna have to find somebody who makes twice as much, because he has to be able to accommodate the lifestyle that she is already used to. I'm gonna be completely honest though. I think unfortunately, in the church culture, I can speak to this. I'm a pastor. I've been preaching stuff 15 years old. I think what we've done though is that we've sold a dream in dating and getting married that doesn't require work. I think we've sold the Boaz story. I
Ooh.
think we sold all of these things. If you just pray to God, God's going, find, He's going to send you that man, because he that findeth the wife. Which that scripture don't mean what you think it means. Anyway, if you just pray to God, He's going to send you the man. And I think that we've done a disservice to people in that area.
Gotcha. Charity, you were gonna say something about that earlier?
Oh no, I'm agreeing with what he's saying.
Okay.
Or with the exception of where he's saying she has to make more, or she has to be willing to compromise and go lower. And most women aren't willing to, cut their comforts to have what they claim they want to have. I think we gotta you gotta consider that. Like, cut your Jay, I promise you that Boaz is dead. Anytime a woman say that to me, I'm waiting for my Boaz. I'm like, first of all, since Boaz belonged to another woman and he's a dead man and he was an old man. Is that what you really want?
An old dead man.
But he was
An
an
old
old
dead man.
man before Cialis and Viagra came along.
Look,
He was still working it.
he was a one hitter quitter, okay? Shot up the club and went home to glory.
But she got the money, so you never know. Somebody may be looking for that.
That
Good
ain't
Lord.
that is not the desire of my heart. Bless God.
Shut down, stupid, with his nasty old self. Oh boy. Y'all crazy. Okay, let's get through the rest of this content. All right. So I got a few anecdotes I have for y'all. Right, nothing make me want to cuss is let me take comment down here because I want to drop this real quick. Folks who harp on wanting someone high value is like a guest on Antique Roadshow. You will be let down more time than you win. All right. Another thing that make me want to cuss is folks who want to date and find someone or be found, but don't want to go nowhere.
Jay, he talking to you, Jay. He talking.
No, I'm just
Jay,
saying.
Jay, he talking to you.
All right. So here's my anecdote to go with that. When people know that they are dateable, but don't go anywhere, they are like Walmart shoppers. They mad that no one is available and everything is self-checkout.
I thought you loved Jay. I thought she had been.
I'm not talking to Jay. I'm just saying.
Come on now. Help me out, Mel. Help me out.
I'm just like, you just gonna put on front.
I'm just.
Can we pause for a second though with
Yeah,
this
let's
dating
pause.
thing? Because if you being a recluse and you honestly you socially awkward, so are you really dateable? Because socially awkward people.
But listen, I want to say something about that socially awkward thing.
Speak
Right?
on.
Because I told somebody this, that you're not necessarily socially awkward. Is that you are an anomaly, right? You're an anomaly.
Sir, go ahead. Since you already put me on that screen, just say who you said it to. Who you said it to.
You're an anomaly
Just at her.
that people may not be able to figure out. And so just because you're different doesn't mean that you're socially awkward, because by whose standards? Who made the standard of socially acceptable and socially awkward? And you just realize that you're more complex than other people are, but you have to be willing to put yourself out there so that people can go on the journey of you. And that journey may be a short journey, maybe a long journey. And so, but if you don't ever allow yourself to be put out there, to give people, because some people might like your socially awkward self, they may love that, but you don't even give them a chance to, because you've already defined yourself by somebody else's standards.
So
And
even
Jay, I'm not coming. I was gonna say, Jay, I'm not coming for you. I'm finna say this period because I get people who hit me up and they be talking and I'm like, I wouldn't date you either. Okay. If you wouldn't date you, why should somebody else date you? And you don't know who, you have no clue who you are, you have no interest, you have no hobbies, you have no life, and you're trying to invite people to come into this space of no life boredom with you. It's like, are you really dateable? What makes this idea of dateable? If you don't like you and you wouldn't date you, why bring somebody else into that space? What you should do is take some time, learn who you are, love who you are, find some things you love about life outside of hoping somebody come rescue you via a relationship, and then people will flock to you. You'll have folks trying to, get to know you and want to actually take you out and find out more things about you because you're interesting.
Right. Right. So
Ish.
you mentioned something earlier about being boring. So I have something for that. I have an anecdote for that. Folks who look for dates only in church is like going to church's chicken. You get nothing but grease, bread, and good sides, because they got a lot of sides in the church. And then you get mad because you hear, we ain't got no wings, because they ain't got no invention. Because if the only life they have is in church, now, Pastor Mel is different because he's a pastor. That's his life, that's his living. But I'm talking about, because if you marry him, of course, Pastor Mel is adventurous. He travels, he goes out. He has a life outside of church. He is not a boring person. But you got some people that the only thing they know is church, and they don't want to go nowhere. They they go to the beach and
They want to wear
they wearing stockings.
a moo. Sis, if you don't get out that moo at the beach, what are you doing?
We ain't got no wings.
Yeah,
All right.
definitely get out the church house, but don't be in
the clubhouse.
temple either. Don't be over there in the
Yeah.
temple.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know.
All right. All right. So here it is. Here it is. Okay. All right. We're gonna finish up because y'all getting sleepy and delirious. Y'all just say anything because I don't want y'all mess your friend up. So I'm gonna call out some black movies or shows, and I want you all to say dysfunctional or deliberate. The dating in those movies was dysfunctional or deliberate. All right. So here we go. Love Jones.
I don't even remember Love Jones.
Man, I don't remember, and that was shot in my city, and I don't remember the.
Was it shot on the South Side, man?
It was shot on. Well, they did a scene in it's a reggae joint. Go ahead.
Yeah, it sure was because I remember the bridge. I remember the L.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna move past that one. Love and basketball.
Dysfunctional.
What made it dysfunctional, Charity?
Oh, boy got broke and didn't have the woman he wanted and came back to the girl who wanted him. That's dysfunctional.
I say both.
You say both? Okay. Yeah. So he knew what he had intentions of one thing, but then he came back and
he came back home.
Yeah. All right. Coming to America. Dysfunctional or deliberate?
Deliberate.
It was deliberate.
He was committed. He knew what he wanted.
She wasn't. She wasn't. She was with Soul Glow.
She broke up with Soul Glow.
but she was feeling Hakeem.
Did.
She was feeling Hakeem, but she wanted to stay with Soul Glow because he was going somewhere.
But she did you see the rest of the movie?
Yeah, she eventually ended up with him. Eventually,
But that was because they cultivated a friendship. She realized there was more to him than met the eye. She was intrigued. Come to find out, the bro had all the money. His face was on the money.
basketball.
Was.
Look at Brooklyn. Brooklyn. she
Come
from New York.
on, come
She
on,
said he started a relationship with a lie.
with a lie.
Was it a lie, or was it he was protecting what he knew about himself?
It was a lie because he almost lost her.
It was a lie. It was a lie.
No, but Lisa was doing the most though, because sis, you was up here willing to love this man as a goat herder, but you got mad because he told you he was filthy rich. Girl,
because what kind of girl do you take me for if you thought I was just gonna be with you for your money? Why wouldn't you give me?
She was with little Jerry for the money.
Well, look at y'all philosophizing.
We don't know. We don't know because it was
all right. Here we go.
Jerry.
And we can do it with Ghost and Tasha, or Tommy and Keisha. Power. Dysfunctional or deliberate.
Deliberate, because that's my show. No. Dysfunctional all the way around.
Right. Dysfunctional.
Yeah. So, but you don't think Tommy in the end, because he was trying to get out the game. He was trying to get him and Keisha out the game and get away from there. You don't think that he was being deliberate?
Nah. Well, I'm still stuck on Ghost. Ghost told Tasha, he said, "Tasha, please, the love of my life just died." He was talking about Angela.
So that, what's her name? Angela. What's her name, Angela?
That's some
I bet every woman in America that was watching that say, "This mother." All right, here we go. Another one. Jason's lyric.
Became an all-time high.
Jason's lyric. Dysfunctional or deliberate?
Remember Jason's lyric?
You don't remember Jason's lyric?
I can't either. I've seen it, but I don't.
With Jada?
I mean, I know Jada and the light skinned dude.
Anything with Jada is dysfunctional.
Yeah.
You say anything with her is dysfunctional?
I was mad.
Well, we're gonna go.
I think Jason's lyric was Tupac. Where was Tupac?
No, it wasn't Tupac. That was the man that played on House of Pain, Martin Payne. I mean, what's his name? Anthony. What's his name?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's Bokeem Woodbine. Yeah. Okay. All right. Last one. Different world.
Deliberate.
Come on,
yeah.
He was deliberate. He broke up the wedding.
He did.
Baby, please.
But how she ended up with somebody else in the first place? That's the part we got to get to. We got to talk about.
That's why I said
because she was looking for a high value man because her mama told her that's what she's supposed to have.
I mean, when Diane Carroll tells you something, you're supposed to go with it. So
I don't know.
All right. Well, thank y'all so much. This has been fun. I've enjoyed this conversation. I really have enjoyed this conversation. So Crystal said it was deliberate. Where she say, "Fooling around with Jada, you'll be caught up in an entanglement." Right?
Oof.
Oh, good Lord.
All right.
Yeah. So Crystal said, "No, she just wasn't waiting on Dwayne to make up his mind. Dwayne ain't made up his mind. He been pushing up on her ever since he got there this freshman year in college. He was deliberate. He knew what he wanted.
He was with Ming Lee for a minute. He was with Ming Lee when he went.
Yeah, I mean, they had a lot going on. That was a young love that grew into something.
It grew into something. Okay.
You know, that young love be raggedy and dysfunctional.
All right. So, again, thank you all so much for joining. And want to give you all a shout out because we have some enterprising individuals here They are all, I believe, moguls in their own right. So if you want to reach out, if they want to reach you, Julia, how would they reach you? Uh, you know, so you are what do you call it? A branding coach, right?
I am
So
the dopest brand coach and strategist.
All right now.
she
The
knows
Correct.
her
dopest brand coach
the,
and strategy. If you're gonna brand it, go on brand it.
right. She's dopest
I'm
brand coach
playing.
and
I
strategist.
am the dopest brand coach and strategist. Yes. And you can
Okay.
find me on Instagram at I am underscore J Nicole, or you can follow me here on Facebook. It's I am no underscore J Nicole. And then there's my website on the screen.
Okay. Her website is www.jadecodesolutions.com. And she is a dope brander. All right. And then Charity, how can they get in contact with you?
At Love Lives Free everywhere, or charityisrael.net, or you can, what is that? Email me at lovelivesfree@gmail.com.
So she's saying y'all can email her. She
No,
don't
that's
give
not
her
what I'm
phone
saying.
number yet. She the only one gave me an email address. So she said y'all can email her because she ain't gonna give you her phone number just yet.
Because you already know every time you talk,
Get him afterwards. Get him afterwards, Charity. You already know. Get a brother.
All right,
It's for you.
you say what?
PM.
You can just. I don't have the fancy stuff like that. Oh, I guess I do got one. All right, so you
Look
can
at me.
find me on Facebook, Mel Moore. Just type in MEL space MOORE. I just started using my Instagram, but you can find me on Instagram, PM underscore Mel Moore. Yeah, I am a crisis intervention specialist. My degree is in psychology. So I do help people with crisis moments. I coach people. I am the coach that gets you ready for the therapist. So if you feel like you're not ready for the therapist and you want to kind of do some crisis intervention, you can reach out to me, send me a message, and then we can connect on that. Also, I am the coach's coach. Every coach needs a coach. And so if you're a coach and you want a coach to be accountable to, I can definitely do it. Yeah, I am
All
apostolic in
right.
spheres. So
Yes,
I'm
sir. Yes,
great.
sir. And so he's a crisis intervention specialist. Being thirsty is not a crisis.
And you too can hit his DM up and
Right.
Right.
send
No,
your
Slide
PM
message.
in the
underscore
I
Send
don't
your
do
mentor.
message. Shoot
no.
your shot in Jesus' name.
Yeah,
Not
I approve that. Absolutely.
Oh boy, this has been fun. And so you all are free to drop off if you want to. And so we're gonna do before you close your eyes, right before we go. But I really want to encourage you to listen to before you close your eyes. And so let me put on my lo-fi music here, and we're gonna go in for a minute. Yeah, let me turn it down a little
Going
bit.
in
So
like this. Going in.
yeah, yeah. So we're gonna turn it down. All right. So here is before you close your eyes. In Ecclesiastes chapter 11, verses 1 through 6, it says, cast your bread upon the waters, for you will find it after many days. Give a servant to 7, also to 8, for you don't know what evil will be on the earth. If the clouds are full of rain, they empty themselves upon the earth. And if a tree falls in the south or north, in the place where it fell, that's where it's going to be. He who observes the wind will not sow, and who regards the clouds will not reap. As you do not know what is the way of the wind, or how the wet bones grow in the womb, or he who is with child, or her who is with child. So you do not know the works of God who makes everything. What does he make? Everything. In the morning, sow your seed, and in the evening, do not withhold your hand. For you do not know which will prosper, either this or that, or whether both alike will be good. I read that to say this. My philosophy on dating is different. I don't believe dating is is, people mostly equate it to sex, but I don't believe dating is just has to be a sexual or a sensual thing. I believe dating is a time where you get a chance to have fun and know other people. And so in this particular passage of scripture, it gives a principle that says, hey, just go out, have fun, invest time in building relationships with people, networking, connecting, because you don't know what you like until you find what you don't like. So spend your time, date as many people as possible, go out. Doesn't mean that you have to make attachments, but go out, get to know people, connect with them. You'll find out who should be in the friend zone, and then you'll find out people you might be attracted to. And you may even find people that you are attracted to that you didn't know you were attracted to, because you might find something that you like that you didn't know you like. So God has more options available for you than you give him credit for. But if you limit him by time, location, experience, you may and might be depriving yourself of an amazing harvest. So here is the clause to tuck you in. People who enjoy fresh produce are people who enjoy playing in the dirt. So play in the dirt. Have fun. You never know what harvest may come from it. God's lullaby. This is Helen Jones' second son, Deborah Michelle's trophy husband, saying life is too short to play games, so keep it real. 2 fingers to the north. We out.